Well, there's another big expo happening in the country, and that is Kenya is actually hosting over 60 international delegates and companies that will be taking part at the Chemex Expo that is happening currently at the KICC. Lots of discussions happening there. And right now in studio, we are joined by a lady and a gentleman who will be talking to us more about what this conference, actually this expo, is all about. Allow me to start with Bassem Abu Taleb, who's the general manager for True Affairs, and it's an events and exhibitions company. Many thanks for making time.
Thank you very much for having us.
And then the lady seated next to me is Florence Sugut, if I'm right.
Yes, that's correct.
Florence is also keenly involved in this expo, and they'll be talking to us about what to expect and why Kenya is actually hosting this particular expo. Many thanks. Florence, let's just start off with you. Why should people attend this conference?
Thank you very much, Abi. The conference, the expo that is happening right now is called Kenya Chemex, which is an expo for the chemical products. Chemical products, we are talking about the plastic raw materials, we're talking about industrial chemicals, we are talking about agrochemicals, including packaging and also printing. Why this expo is happening here is because we have, in our little research we did, we realized that most of the chemical products are not produced here in Kenya, and therefore there's a need to have investment in the same sectors. And so we have the expo to promote investment in these sectors, beginning with the trade and then moving to the investment.
Interesting. And Bassem, this is not the first time Kenya is hosting such a major expo. So this year, what's different really?
Actually, it's not the first time. If I may, I'm talking about the Egyptian Pavilion. It's the fourth time on roll. The new thing this year is we are hosting about 25 to 30 visitors from East Africa.
Yeah.
And we are hosting a large number of visitors from around counties of Nairobi. This year we have multiple sectors, new sectors in the exhibition. We have detergent, we have paints, we have raw material for paints. We are focusing on the Kenyan market as it's the biggest hub in the East Africa for the Egyptian companies.
Yeah.
The participation from Egypt is increasing each year. We started with about 25 companies on 2013. Now we are hosting 58 companies from Egypt.
All right.
Most of them are CEOs and exporters, managers.
Okay. And looking at the chemicals industry, it has been evolving over time, and we're seeing it's becoming a major player in the African economy. Perhaps let's talk about how big is this industry in terms of, if you can quantify in monetary terms, really.
The chemical industry, you will find it in all around you. We are talking about plastic. Plastic is in everything. You are talking about paint. You are talking about packing and packaging. You are talking about machineries. You are talking about lots of things. You will find it. It's one of the biggest industries in all over the world, not only in Africa. And most of the economies depends on the chemical industries.
Okay. And Florence, allow me to bring you back into this conversation. Looking at where Kenya is placed, we are seeing a lot of manufacturing companies coming on board. And of course, how is it from the side of the chemicals industry? Are we seeing new players setting up in the country? And do you expect out of this expo to attract more investors into the Kenyan market?
Sure. Thank you very much again for this, Jan. Yes, since the beginning of this expo, the Kenya Chemex, 6 years down the line, we have had a lot of trading in the sectors, in the plastic, with the local companies, partnership with the international companies.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies have made plans to invest in the country. Yeah. Because they are seeing the behavior and also the how the product is moving in the market. And so we expect a lot of investment, because if you can see where we started from 25, we came to 50, now we have 60, and now also the local company is increasing in terms of the exhibition.
All right.
So that we are very much pessimistic, that optimistic. I'm sorry, that a lot of investment will come up in these sectors.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, Taleb, looking at Africa, there's a lot of urbanization happening right now. I mean, if you look at figures from the United Nations, they show that by 2050, half of Africa's population will be living in urban centers. How will this impact the chemicals industry, and also how can we grow it and have inclusive growth across the border?
Actually, what you have mentioned now is making a very high demand on the chemical products. Very high demand in all the African countries. The economical growth of the African countries makes a very high demand. The population makes a very high demand. What we are trying to do now is to combine powers between African countries. We try to complete, not to compete. We take whatever we can take from each other. We take knowledge, we share information, we share technology. This is what I think, this is the best way for all the African countries to march together into economical growth.
Mm-hmm. Florence, now that Kenya is hosting this forum, how will you roll out in terms of having the common man understand what's happening at the forum? Why should they take part? What do they stand to gain by coming for this forum?
Well, the common man is the most beneficiary of this Expo, because the Expo presents opportunities for doing business, in the trading, in terms of distributorship, partnership with international companies, and also agency, among other business ventures that can happen. Mm-hmm. So to get into the local and the common man, we are using various strategies, including going public on TV, to radio. We are also advertising on print. We also making awareness in the counties, and right now we have counties coming in delegations to come and visit and also make business deals.
All right.
Yeah, the key thing in this trade fair is B2B matchmaking. Way before the Expo began, we had companies matching with the incoming companies. We match them and we raise them to come and have the business meetings. So in terms of beneficiary, who is the beneficiary and what the local benefit from is getting business, opportunities and scaling up their businesses.
All right. So Abu Taleb, who are some of the big names attending this Expo from the chemicals industry? And looking at investments, what, in your view, do you think needs to be done to sort of see the chemicals sector grow at a faster pace? Is it a question of regulation? Is it a question of taxation? Is it a question of packaging? What do you think needs to be done to catapult the industry?
First, some of the biggest names from Egypt, we have El Zain Chemicals. They're one of the biggest companies in Egypt and in Africa making raw material for paints. They export to 86 countries all over the world. We have Al Hilal Golden Star. It's a very well named in Africa and East and the Middle East for plastic houseware. We have Pactec, one of the biggest names in making the advertising bags and big brand names bags like gifts. For the other thing, how to get investors from Egypt to Kenya, I think we must go through the first governmental channels. We already have some trading deals.
Yeah.
I think the main issue now is how to facilitate the private sector to already activate these deals. We need to have something like facilitating the things, go out of bureaucracy and go out of the governmental issues. Like if I want to submit something in Egypt, I should giving papers and paperwork and going to this office and this office for more than 6 months. This thing in all the African countries is against investment.
Okay.
So this is what I think. This is my my opinion. So what I think we should go together into a mutual point, is how you will be benefit and how the country will host you to invest will be benefit.
Florence, any last words?
Yeah, about Kenya Chemex, I would say that what we are doing right now with this Kenya Chemex is promoting intra-Africa trade, and having a bigger pavilion from Egypt is because of the Mombasa region, where we know that quality products are from Egypt as well, not only from the east or the west. We have it within Africa, and so within the Mombasa region, where business is easy, we encourage the African to do business with African. And we call upon our people in the region, in Kenya, to make and do business deals with the investors who have come already.
Investors.
Yes, in the various sectors.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Please
Can I say
make it brief?
First, I would like to thank all the governmental supporters, because what we found here, a very professional attitude, a very keen people to make business, to make benefits for their country. We would like to thank KICC. If I have a small proposal, please, we need a bigger place to make exhibitions. It will affect very positively in economic, in tourism, in lots of things. The Egyptian delegation is about 100 persons, and in a small hall. If we have a bigger hall, we can host lots of countries, lots of people.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for having us.
I believe the powers that be have listened to your request.
So. I hope so.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That is Florence Good, who was with Kenya Chemex, just giving us perspectives around the upcoming, the ongoing expo happening at the KICC. We've also been speaking to Bassem Abu Taleb, who is the General Manager for Two Affairs, just talking to us on what to expect in this particular event that Kenya is hosting.